Hi, I'm Bruce Blitz, and welcome to Cartooning with Blitz. Now I have a question to ask you. What kind of people would high dive into a glass of water, get shot out of a cannon, and throw pies at each other? That's right, college students. No, not college students. Here, I'll give you a hint. Ready? That's right, circus performers. And circus performers are such interesting people, and they make great subjects for cartooning, and that's what we'll be doing today, circus performers. And for our feature of the day, something called flip tips. And it's a great way to animate your drawings, just like you see in the movies. And for our doodle trick, alphabet tunes, finished cartoons from simple letters of the alphabet. So stay tuned for that. I know you'll like it. Okay, let's get started and do our first subject, and it is going to be, in the circus, a clown. Now, I can be a clown. Anybody can be a clown, and you know who else can be a clown? You can be a clown. So let's write you. Y O U. You can be a clown. Now watch this. Let's put a line here and a line there. And you may be ahead of me, but if you can see what's happening here, we'll double this line a little bit. You see it? It's starting to happen. You can become a clown. And here it is, right in front of your eyes. Let's put an ear here, and one there. And let's give him some zany hair coming out the sides, like that. And you're saying, well, what's that Y doing on his head? Well, I'll show you. We'll double that a little bit, and we'll make it into a clown hat. There you go, some more detail over here. And let's put those big fancy collars that they always have, just like that. Now, one more element. Right over here, we're going to draw the dreaded pie. And that's just an oval with some wiggly lines like that around here, some detail on top. And here's the pie tin. And some cartoon effects and accessories, like the pie's just about to hit them. And there it is. I told you, you can become a clown. Let's throw some color into this guy. Use my color sticks for this. You know, when I was a little boy, I used to watch a show called Howdy Doody. And Howdy Doody was a great show, and they had a clown on there called Clarabelle the Clown. And Clarabelle was the funniest clown. In fact, that was the song, "Who's the funniest clown you know? Clarabelle." And I'll use some orange for his hair. And he was a great clown, and it was a great show, and I grew up on that show, actually. Now, what's the music that they always play for clowns whenever you see one? Let's use a little blue for his. I'm going to play that for you in a second, too. Look how that color just goes right on there, brings the whole drawing to life. Let's make him color coordinated up here with his hat and his brim and some cartoon effects and accessories. Now, you take a look at the clown, and I'll play a little clown music. Ready? Okay, let's do another one. And this one is a doodle trick, just a little bit like the U was for clown, but it's an easy way to get started in drawing a human figure. And I'm going to start with the number 8. And we're going to draw a tightrope walker from the number 8. Now, right there, we've got the basis for the torso. Now I'm going to draw her leg coming right out of here. Now watch, a straight line down, just like that. Now, here's her toes. Here's her heel. Here's her calf. And then finish up to the thigh. And the same thing goes back here. Straight line goes down for her other leg. Her toe, heel, calf, and up. Nothing to it. And let's put some detail into the outfit. Some sparkles, because they always wear glitzy costumes. And now for her head. Well, let's start with her neck. And let's draw a half circle. And we'll give her, well, we'll have her hair up. Because she doesn't want to have long hair when she's doing this. If it gets in her way, she's done. Because she's walking real high up in the air as a tightrope walker. And you know what kind of expression we'll give her is, well, she's happy, but she's a little nervous. So we'll put her eyebrows way up like this, and definitely some perspiration, because she's a little nervous. Okay, now for her arms. Look down like this, and right here, we're not going to draw the forearm too big because her hand, which is indicated by that circle, is blocking her forearm. That's called foreshortening. That means that like the forearm is a little bit behind. Same thing over here. Can't really see the whole forearm. Now let's put some detail into the circle that we drew for the hand. Put a thumb up top because her fingers are actually facing upwards on both sides because she's going to be holding that balance bar that they hold. Yeah, go out a little bit more. And they have those little circles on the end. Now let's put the wire here and some cartoon effects and accessories. Oh boy, some shaking. Not too much shaking. You know what? Let's add one more element to it. You always want to try to have your cartoons expressing a funny idea if you can. And let's put a little bird here looking at us with a question mark, wondering what she's doing way up high like this. And there you have it. I'll put a little color into her. And you know where I found all these great pictures of circus performers? It'd be great to go to the circus and do it, but if you can't, you just go to the library. Because the library is just a great place for pictures and things that you can't see live, and that's how I got some of these pictures. Okay, now let's put a little bit of, let's give her a real fancy color for her outfit. How about people purple? Yeah, I like that one. And let's give her yellow hair, and I'll be using this color here, which is called Yell-O. That's what it's called. Give him a yellow beak. Let's make him a yellow bird too. You take a look at that sketch, and I'll play a little music that they play for tightrope walkers. Ready? Real slow music now. They don't want to play too fast because then I want to scare them to death up there. Oh, wait a minute. It's time for the pun of the day. You know what the pun is? We take a simple word in the language and it has two meanings, and we illustrate it in cartoons. And this is the pun of the day. You guess what it is. Ready? Okay. You give up? It's a covered wagon. Huh? All right. You know, I got that joke from an old comic strip, one of my favorites, called Smokey Stover. A fellow named Bill Holman, and he was one of my favorite old-time cartoonists, and I don't think he'll mind me borrowing that gag. Okay, now let's do another one here, and this one here is going to be of the announcer for the whole shooting match in a circus, and he's called the ringmaster. Now, I'd like to start with his face. Now, his face has a certain look to it, very flamboyant characters. So let's start with a shape like that. It comes down a little bit to a point like that. And there's his nose. Now watch, I want you to notice what makes him so unique. He's got a real neat, colorful mustache. Handlebar mustache, that's called. See that? I like that. Now, let's have his eyes shut. And his mouth wide open because he's the announcer. And also, ringmasters are known for singing, a lot of them. Now, let's start up top for his hat. Now watch, another 8, like we did for the tightrope walker. You make an 8 laying down on its side, you can make a top hat. See how everything seems to be fitting inside? Whenever you put a hat on one of your characters, make sure that the hat looks like it's fitting on the head and that the face and the head fits inside. Now let's put his ears. See how that works? Now let's put the hat band on it. All right, now we're going to do his body. Let's give him some hair down here too. All right, now for his body, I'm going to draw a shape like this, and then we'll build on it. Now his arms will be stretched out. As I said, he's usually announcing or singing. So if we do this, we can just build on that. Now they always wear a riding habit. I didn't say they have a riding habit. They like to ride horses. But traditionally, they would hold the reins to the horse that went around the circles during the procession at the beginning, and as tradition would have it, they ended up always wearing a riding habit, which is the name for, jodhpurs and the kind of vest that they always have when people go riding and fox hunting and things like that. And he's wearing tails. And over the years, it became like a personal expression. They started to expand a little bit and get really glitzy costumes. Now I'm made to flare out a little bit because they're jodhpurs. Jodhpurs are those riding pants and high boots. Just like that. All right, now his arm, let's give him some braiding on his sleeves. Now for his hands. Fingers. One here. Very glitzy costumes, very colorful characters. And let me see what else. Let's put him in the ring. And some cartoon effects and accessories. Some musical notes. And he could be saying something about ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen! There we go. All right, let's move on. Now I'd like to do a real quickie for you, and this is something that I wouldn't want to do, folks. This is going to be a man. Let's draw a circle right here, and we're going to draw a helmet on this fella. Just like that. And here's his nose, and here's his mouth. Now, well, that's its chin. Now his mouth, which is not going to be up, not going to be smiling. And we're going to put his eye right here with some vibrations to his eyeballs. Why? Because he is the human cannonball. That's right. He's wearing a helmet here. And now let's put him in his cannon. This is the Great Guy. He's a great guy. It's also called the Great Guy. And they have a big sign that says, "Watch Guy Fly." And now you see him there in the cannon. Let's put a big wheel on the cannon. He doesn't look too happy about this. And in cartoon world, whenever you see like a bomb or a fire, you always see these like fuses, and then you see like these little lines around it. You see how that works? Now let's put him in the circus setting. So here's the circus tent in the back, and some flags. And there he is, the Great Guy. Watch Guy Fly. More sweat. I think we have to take this to the max. What do you say? That's a great subject, you know. Okay, I want to do another drawing for you, and we're going to start with the Insta Cartooner. And the Insta Cartooner is a great way to create thousands and thousands of faces, and it starts with this sheet right here with the facial outlines. So we're going to lay this down just like that, and we're going to select a face. And I'm going to select this guy right here. And I also made a piece of paper with a hole cut in it just so I could isolate that face, so it'll be a little less confusing for you at home. And now I get the features out. Now the features are on plastic overlay sheets, and they can be mixed and matched. Now, take a set of eyes, and I think I'll use those googly eyes right there. And let's see, now we have to select the nose. All the features fit on all the faces. Here he goes, he's got a mustache there. He's got a bumpy nose there. I'm going to select this nose right there. Now for the mouth, and that's what brings it all together. Here we can have him with his tongue out, frowning, but we're going to have his teeth gritting like that. Now what you could do is you could take a piece of tracing paper and trace that face, or you could actually copy that on another piece of paper, and that's what I've done. So let's show you that face right now. And I'm going to add a cartoon body to this. So here's the guy, and we're going to make a juggler. And we'll start with his neck. Looks a little like Elvis. Elvis juggling, that's what it looks like. And let's give him those puffy sleeves that jugglers always have in the circus. For a glitzy costume. And here's his hand, and he's holding, well, they always look like bowling pins. This is what they juggle with. And here's his torso. And here's his legs. And here's his other arm coming out this way. And his thumb and his fingers like that. Because he just let go of another one. And let's put that one right up here. Okay, some cartoon effects and accessories. You're saying, well, where's the third one? Well, I'll show you where the third one ended up. Right here. a sound effect, a splash like that, and how about, this is a great sound effect for this guy, clunk, because that's a sound it might make if it hit his head. You know, you have to see humor in all these situations. It's our job, it's our duty as cartoonists. And let's put a little background in there, and I'm going to use a little cartoon maroon for the feature, for the effects, just like that, and maybe some splash lines coming out of him. And you take a look at that sketch, and I'll play you the kind of music that they always play for jugglers. Ready? Now stay tuned for the feature of the day. Now, I think it's safe to say that everyone at one time or another has seen an animated film or a cartoon, and it's done with a series of drawings that, when played back, create the illusion of movement. Now, I'll show you what I mean. Pretend I'm a cartoon, which I probably half am by now anyway, so if you drew my hand in this position here, and then that position, and then you photographed them and then played it back, it would look like this. And you create the illusion of movement. Now, the amount of drawings that it takes for even an 8-minute film is in the many thousands, and for a feature-length film, like you see in the movies, in the millions. Now, unfortunately, we don't have that much time together today, but we can still create the illusion of movement with something that I call flip tips. And I call it that because we're going to draw in the corner of a sketch pad and flip it back and forth, and we'll create movement. Now, I've got one for you right here I'd like to show you, and I call it pie in the face. See this guy right here? I'm going to get these in position. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom, right in his face. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Now, just 3 drawings, yet it still creates the illusion of movement. So let's do one together. And I call this one the Jack in the Box. And we're going to draw the third drawing first. Now, this would be equal to the one where the pie is actually in his face. And we'll work backwards, and I'll show you why in a moment. So there's the box that he comes out of, and let's put some decoration in there. And here's the lid that flew open to reveal the clown that comes out. Here's his hat, and here's his face with a big nose. Let's give him some eyes up here. And here's his ear. And some fuzzy hair coming out both sides, and a big smile, and a collar. And then the bellows that, you know, like an accordion that pop open from inside. Maybe even a couple lines like that. And here's the winder and a little shadow. Now, we take the next page and we flip it back right this way. And you notice we can still see that drawing a little bit. Now, I know you can see it very faintly at home, but we want that because what we want to do is we want to trace the things that don't move. Like the box, that should be in the same position. Let's go back. And let's just draw that, because that doesn't move, and if it moved, it would look like it was jumping all over the page, and it can't be. It has to be registered. That's called registration in animation. Now, this lid, that does move. Now, it's over here now. We want to make it half-mast, so just like halfway open, and the clown, well, he's just half coming out now, so we'll draw his hat, because that's all you'd see, and maybe a little bit of hair peeking out, and that's about it. Now we'll go, let's put a little shadow again. Now let's go back to the first drawing. Now, real animation is done on a light box. Now, we can see that again. See that real lightly? And real animation is done on a light box, and they can see through 3 and 4 drawings at a time. And they put a lot of detail on it that way because they can see everything. Okay, here's the detail for the box. Here's the winder. And this time, there's really nothing else happening because that lid is closed. So let's put some shadow in there. And let's put a little color into it. Very little. Going to put a little bit of blue in the background like this. It makes the box come forward. And maybe I'll make the box a little color too. Let's go do the same thing here. This brings it out a little bit. And a little bit of blue in the background again. And let's see where these clown is peeking out a little bit. Let's draw something back there. Let's give him a turquoise hat. Now, here's the last one, and let's give him the, well, let's give him orange hair, and a red nose, red cheeks. And here's the turquoise for his hat. And we'll do the same for his collar. And let's see what else. A little bit of red for in here. And the box. Now again, this is a short movie that I directed. I did the music for it, did the casting, I did the photography. You name it, I did it for this movie. And you can do the same. Now let's get this in position and let's see what we've got. There's the first drawing. Get them all ready to go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom, there he is. That works. 1, 2, 3. I like that. Now, at home, you can do this and draw on the tips of an entire notepad and create a longer sequence. Now stay tuned for cartoon doodle tricks. Welcome to today's doodle tricks and welcome friends. How you guys doing, all right?
Great.
Okay, now let's start with a couple warm-ups and we'll do alphabet tunes. So any letter in the alphabet, you can't stump me. How about
R.
you? R. R's a good one. Okay. We'll draw an R right here. All right. Now, R will be for Ralph. We'll make a guy named Ralph. And here's his nose, and that'll be a mustache. And let's see. Down here we'll make a pointed chin. And come up, and here's an ear. Here's another ear. See, that part there is going to be his nose. And let's see what we can do there. Oh, we gave him a mustache. Let's give him a goatee. We'll make him look like an artist. Give him a big smile. And let's give him some eyes that are peeking out the side, just like that. And you know what? Let's give him a beret. If he's an artist, he might have a beret, you know? Yeah. Don't forget the little beanie on top. There's Ralph. You like Ralph?
Yeah.
Okay, I need another letter. Who else? How about you?
O.
O? Okay. And you know what? O is a good one. You'd think that I would just like put a face in a circle. Well, got something pretty good for you. Okay, make a big O like this. Now, what can we do with that? I know. Watch this. I'm going to make a line here, and a line there, and this. So far, you can't tell what that is, can you? You tell me when you can tell what this is. And if I darken all this in, does this look like, wait a minute. Wait, I know when you'll know. If that's a nose, and these are eyes, and these are ears.
A boy.
That's right, with his what? Mouth open, real wide, because he's yawning. And we can write yawn. Here's his collar. There's a little boy from Mo. Like that one?
Yeah.
I got another one for you. Okay, this time let's draw another little boy from the back, like this, watch. Here's the back of his head, and he's got a real fluffy head of hair, like that, and here's his shoulders, and here's his arms, and he's looking at the sun. Now this is the story of Grandpa. See the sun? Let's put a mountain in the background, and he's facing there looking at the sun. Now, when Grandpa was a little boy looking at the sun, he played all day from morning on, having lots of fun. And when he was a little boy, hair grew on his head. But now, it's moved down to his chin. At least that's what Grandpa said. Like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all the time we have for today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And for our tip of the day, you can't aim too high for success. There's an old expression that says, if you aim for the moon, but you don't hit it, it's okay, because you can settle for the stars. That's still pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm Bruce Blica saying thanks for being with me, and help me out, guys.
Keep on cartooning.
There you go.